This video is a step-by-step walkthrough where you'll learn how you can use the Sunday Keys iPad app to quickly prepare a patch for a specific modern worship song. Today we're going to be using the song Raise a Hallelujah by Bethel Music. There are some great and pretty distinct keys parts in this song, but it doesn't have to take you hours and hours to design a great patch. Let's dive into it. So we're going to use an existing patch from the Sunday Keys sound library and then just modify it a little bit so it nails everything we need in this song. So let's tap the plus icon and add a patch from the library. And I'm going to load in this patch called Drastic Impact. And this patch is in the key of C. The original is in D flat. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to Play In and choose D flat, and then Hear In and choose D flat as well. So now we're just able to play in the original key of the song. The other thing I'm going to do is set the tempo for this patch. Now the original is at 82, so I'm going to hit this icon, choose Patch Settings, and then I'm going to make Change Tempo active. And then we can just type in the BPM, 82. Now anytime this patch is selected in my set list, the tempo of the set is automatically going to jump to 82. We're going to be ready to go. Okay, so let me just show you what this patch sounds like right out of the box, and then we'll make a couple changes so it does everything we need to do for Raise a Hallelujah. Okay, so there's several things going on in this patch right out of the box that I love. There's a melodic ARP in the right hand, there's a sub bass, and a sequence triggered by the left hand bass notes. And then there's also an organ sound with a good bit of reverb in the right hand. So this is really already filling the ambient space that Raise a Hallelujah requires in the background. But there's one thing we're missing. This song features a great grand piano sound from the keys player that's right out in front of the mix. So what I'm going to do is take out this synth bass ARP layer that isn't actually in the mix at all yet. We're just going to replace that with a grand piano sound. So to do that, just tap on the sound name at the top, and then you can browse to find the right sound. So I'm going to go to Piano, Acoustic Pianos, and let's pick SK Grand Hall. Now I just tap Replace Sound. And now I've got this piano available where we had that synth bass ARP before. Okay, so just bringing that piano sound to the front of this patch honestly does all of the work of bringing the sound of Raise a Hallelujah to the keyboard. So all we really have left to do is dial in some of the nuance. So I'm thinking about the different parts or sections of the song and how I'm going to use this one patch to cover all the right space for those moments. And we can use snapshots within this patch to make it easy to switch between the verse, the chorus, the big bridge at the end of the song, where the bottom drops out for that little instrumental. So let's start off by creating the beginning of the song, what we're going to call the intro and the verse. So all we need to do to save snapshots is dial in the settings that we'd like. So let's say that we want to start with this piano out. Maybe we're going to bring out this sub bass. We'll bring this sequence down a good bit, bring this ARP down a good bit. And I'm thinking that if I'm going to maybe start the service off with the song, I really just want this organ, maybe a little bit of that sequence. And then I can fade these other elements in. So I'm going to go ahead and just save this as my first snapshot by tapping the Save icon in the Snapshots area. And we could rename this if we wanted to, just long press, tap Rename, and we can name this Intro / Verse. Now I've got a simple visual reminder, and whenever I want to, I can just tap that snapshot and these settings are going to be recalled. So next up, I know I want to introduce the piano. So I'm deciding, do I want to build another snapshot for that, or do I want to just fade that in myself? So I think what I would do is just bring this piano in by the time we get to that first verse. I raise a hallelujah. I'm going to hang out there for a while. Next up, I know I want to get a little bit bigger for this first chorus. So I'm going to select Snapshot 2, and I want to bring in this sub bass and just fill a little bit more space in general. Okay, so that's feeling pretty good, but I also want to fill up a little bit more top end space. So I'm gonna move the mod wheel up a little bit here, or I could do it here on the touch screen. And that's just gonna bring some more brightness to these sounds. The last thing I know I want to do, the original recording, which is absolutely awesome, features some really bright piano sounds with a good bit of dotted eighth note delay. Because you're going to hit these big chords and then let the delay repeat fill that space. So for this chorus, I'm going to turn on the octave up MIDI effect for the piano, and I'm also going to turn on the delay. I'm going to open up the delay plugin, make sure here I've got a dotted eighth note delay, and that makes the piano sound like this. So here it is without. And then that octave up and the delay effect really bring out the vibe of this chorus. So it's going to sound like this. Okay, that feels really great. So I'm going to go ahead and save this as my second snapshot. And again, we can rename this. We'll name it chorus. So these snapshots not only are helpful for preparation and staying organized, but then when it comes time to perform, it's really easy to just tap that single snapshot, change all of these settings instead of needing to frantically adjust levels, turn on multiple effects in real time. So it makes your performances a lot less hectic and a lot more predictable. Okay, so here's our intro verse. We're going to fade in that piano. And then when we get to our chorus, awesome. So I would probably also kind of stay in this same space for that second verse as the kick drum comes in and the band's starting to play a little bit. So the next snapshot I want to build is the second chorus. I just want to start building some layers, adding a bit more complexity and filling more space. So I'm going to bring the mod wheel up a little bit more. We're going to increase the volume of these rhythmic elements. So the ARP especially. I want that to start to poke out a little bit more in the mix. And there's some really cool guitar parts on the original as well, so having this ARP sort of in the mix with those guitars is really going to introduce a nice bit of polish to the overall band's sound. And I'm also going to bring up the volume of the sub bass. I'm going to keep that organ pretty subtle. So here's maybe where we would go for chorus 2. So this is our chorus 2 setting. I'm going to go ahead and save this snapshot. And we'll rename this as well, chorus 2. There we go. So now we can just jump very easily between these positions and recall all the settings we need. Now at the end of chorus 2, there's the dropout instrumental before the bridge, sing a little louder. So I've got to decide, do I want to build another snapshot for that? Or maybe do I want to just jump back to my intro verse? This is maybe a little bit too subtle because that piano is back out for this snapshot. So I think what I'm going to do is just build one more snapshot here with that piano still in the mix. We're going to name this maybe just down. So anytime I need that, I can pull that up, down with piano. So this might be useful at the end of the song. It's definitely going to be where I start the instrumental. Okay, so then I'm thinking through this bridge, and it's a long, slow burn of a build. So I think what I'm going to do if I play this live is actually just ride the faders up a little bit at a time, bringing the mod wheel up over time as well as the bridge builds, so that we end up at this really big place. Then we're out of the bridge. Sing a little louder. I'm gonna sing in the middle of the storm. So now we're going into this final all-in chorus, and I just want the same vibe as chorus 2. So I'm going to grab that snapshot so all those settings take over, but I want it even bigger. So I'm going to increase the volume of the little bit of layers I have left, bring that organ up a smidge, bring that last sequence up a smidge, and I'm going to bring my mod wheel up more than anywhere else in the song. And then I'm going to name this one just All In. There we go. So here's what that sounds like. So with just a couple modifications to this patch that comes in Sunday Keys, we were able to build something specifically for this song. And I think it does an awesome job. I would absolutely take this to church and use it live. But if you wanted to fill a little bit more space, you can also automate the tonic pad player in the Sunday Keys app. Maybe you want to start the song off with just a nice ambient pad and have it glue together the sound of your band throughout the entire song. So it's really easy to do that. Just select the key that you need, designate the volume you want the pad, and we can turn it on, listen to how it sounds. So just kind of in the background of everything else. If you want to, you can tap the preset name. We could choose a different preset. Let's say we only had one guitarist for a Sunday, but we wanted it to have a lot of that guitar space, so we could choose the guitar pad. There we go, that sounds nice, and maybe even a little bit more volume. So once you've got your settings dialed in, if you want, the patch can automatically recall them. Just hit patch lock, and now the next time we choose this patch in the set list, Tonic will automatically adopt these settings with seamless, smooth crossfades between the existing preset or the previous key. Okay, so now that we've got this patch made, all that's left to do is make sure we can easily access it anytime in the future. So I'm going to tap the settings area. Let's go ahead and rename this patch so we can find it easily in the future. I'm going to just say, raise hallelujah. Hit save. And now let's go ahead and export this to our user patch library so that we can pull it into any other set list we'd like in the future. So I'm going to tap export patch in the menu and save it to my user library. Now you can create organizational folders within your user library. So if you start building up a library of patches, you can always quickly find the one you're looking for. So we could create a subfolder here and just name this Song Patches. This is a folder for patches we built that are designed for specific songs. Or you could create a folder with an artist name or a particular service that you play once in a while. Once we've got this folder named, we can just select it and hit export. Now this patch is still available in this specific set list, but we could also add it into any future set lists. So let's go ahead and create a new set list. We'll just name this Next Time. So the next time you need this patch in a set list, you can just hit the plus button, choose Add Patch from Library, and then instead of choosing the Sunday Keys library of ready-to-play patches, choose your user library, and that patch is exactly where we left it, and now it's available in this set list. And the tonic pad is filling the space that we asked it to do automatically when that patch is selected. So that's how easy it can be for you to design patches specifically for the songs you're playing at church. If you'd like to learn more about the Sunday Keys iPad app or how you can set up a rig like this for yourself, we'll put a link in the description where you can learn all about it. If you found this video helpful, maybe you'd like to see us break down another song like this, leave a comment and let us know what you thought. And be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next video. Have a great day.